Woke up this morning, feeling the vibe, got my headphones on, ready to thrive. Voices in my ear, lifting me high, upward bound podcast, reaching for the sky. Lessons learned from the deep and wise, personal growth like a sweet surprise. Tune in, turn it up, feel the spark, igniting the fire, lighting the dark.
Welcome to the Upward Bound podcast, where real conversations lead to real growth. My name is Ernie de Cumos in Texas.
Hey, so my name is Jeff Williamson in South Carolina. I'm not in Texas today, but we're here to help you level up in your life, your leadership, and your future.
Let's go with practical insights, honest conversations, and tools you can actually start applying today. I'm Lynn McIntosh, and listen, the queen is back with us. Come on, somebody.
That's right. Tell somebody.
Yeah.
It's good to have you back here.
Let's go, man. Hey, Jeff, what we talk about last time we were together, man? Remind me, man.
That's right. So last time we talked about feeling caught between that rock and a hard place.
Yes, sir.
And you really did a great job of talking about that hallway where every option can feel costly.
Yes.
Does that resonate with anybody? Good gracious. But before that, we actually also unpacked the idea of quiet quitting, and we discovered it wasn't always about just work. You can quiet quit in relationships, our purpose, dreams, even our faith. And, today we're going to be asking different questions. We're going to kind of go down a different hallway.
Let's go,
guys. But once you've recognized that you're drifting, how do you actually come back from that? And because resilience isn't something that you're born with, it's actually something that you build. So, man, Ernie, welcome back. What do you think about that?
Yes, and I wanted to reiterate what you said there, Jeff. Resilience is not something you are born with. It's something that you build. And today we have shaped this episode. We actually themed this episode as why resilience matters more than ever. Because everyone faces adversity. I mean, raise your hand if you have not faced adversity, and we'll count you out.
They just kidding themselves.
Yes, no, everyone faces. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And actually, according to the American Psychological Association, majority of adults continue to experience significant stress. Yet those with stronger social connections, like I have you both, purpose as well, and healthy coping habits, consistently recover more quickly from setbacks.
That's good.
That's already a valuable information right there, right? So you have to have strong social connections, knowing your purpose, and healthy coping habits really helps us to recover quickly from setbacks. It's not like we will be great at it. It's just more so of us knowing that, okay, this is what I have. This is what I need to take care of.
Yeah.
But the challenge isn't avoiding adversity. And like I said earlier, if you don't have any adversities, we're counting you out.
That's right.
It's learning how to respond to it. But my first question, gents, is when you hear the word resilience, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Resilience.
I'm gonna date myself a little bit here. Who knows who Sylvester Stallone is, man?
Come on, tell somebody.
Rocky,
the OG Rocky, and so you see him in some of those old school Rocky movies where he's just getting beat up and brutalized, and I can recall, him saying in his corner, like, "Don't throw in the towel."
That was a good impression.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
in my best Sylvester Stallone.
Were you practicing that? Come on,
man. I was practicing that for this episode, but
that's right.
Literally, this dude is getting pulverized, by his opponent, and he kept, getting hit, but he got knocked down, but he got back up over and over again, and he never quit. He never gave up. And so when I think about resilience, that picture automatically comes to mind about getting knocked down, but getting back up again. What about you, Jeff?
I mean, I'm going to stick in the same vein there. I remember the same movie, or he's got like 6 Rockies. I don't even know, 5 or 10, whatever. But like he just got a rock one time. He got back up, rock. And it was like boom, boom, boom. And so, I mean, that's a great example. I'm not going to try to do that impression. That man, bro, you got that one nailed. So that's good.
Yes, and the last movie I believe is he was given the opportunity to fight again against a younger boxer than him, and even though he did not win, spoiler alert, he did not give anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
When we talk about resilience, is it something that we're born with, or is it something that you can develop? And we kind of said that earlier, but can Len, do you mind giving us a
more? So I obviously I'm a former soldier and former athlete, and so definitely that 8 weeks of boot camp was all about developing the soldier within me, right? And they take us through some very difficult challenges. And so resilience is, when I went in at 20 years old, I had no idea about what being a soldier was, right? And I found myself having to push through some things that I never thought that I would be able to push through. And then even going back a little bit further, on the football field, man, I hated running. I hated a lot of the stuff. I loved the game, but I hated the practices leading up to the game. But it's developing that second win and developing resilience. And so yes, I think short answer that it is something to press to that you can develop. And Coach Garibaldo, real quick, my high school coach, football coach, he would give us the halftime speech. And he would always tell us, all right, guys, it's gut check time. It's gut check time. Don't pay attention to what's on the scoreboard. It's gut check time, and you're going to have to press in. And so when I look at developing resilience, I think back to my football days. So, Jeff, what about you, man?
Yeah, I mean, it really is about owning it. I think it's, you recognize it's gut check time. And one of my favorite quotes is by Charles Swindoll. And, he had mentioned that life is 10%. And then 90% how you react to it.
That's right.
And it's just, we have a choice each and every single day on how we can go about things here, and, we talked before about your circle of influence, and you talk about, if I want to, be in a space to where I'm an author, for instance, guess what? I'm going to go and meet other authors. I'm going to make them part of my circle of influence. If I want to be somebody that does whatever else, I'm going to get into a circle where I know that whatever that circle, they're going to hold me accountable, and there's going to be that level of understanding and influence that's going to cause whatever action and whatever response that I want to have and showcase to the world. I'm going to have it in such a way that, Lynn and Ernie and all my other people, are going to say, hey, Jeff, how's this going here? Yeah. Hey, I see, some accountability time. I think you're falling short here. How can I help you? How can I help, with you through some of these processes here? And, it's 90% how we react.
That's right. Hey, Jeff, so what I hear you saying is that everybody needs a coach, a cheerleader, and a fan. And that's right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And I love that you shared that part of your circle of influence are the people who are in the same interest as you, like a speaker, coach, and author.
Yeah.
And some would say that, okay, well, isn't that competition because you guys are doing the same thing? It's really not.
Yeah.
I wanted to reiterate that, yes, we may be doing the same thing, because I mentioned earlier having strong social connections, right? That's what you're doing. And it's more so of collaboration, because there's how many population? Is it 7 billion still, or is it higher than that now?
Oh, man, I don't know. Yeah. It's up there.
A lot of people.
And imagine us having to make an impact on those individuals. It will take an army to make those happen.
That's right.
That's
right. That's good.
Yes. And some people, I'm sure somebody is saying, well, yes, we admire resilient people, but one of the things that we don't realize is what made them resilient.
Yeah.
I'm sure people with listeners or viewers will say, well, you guys are resilient. You just wake up resilient. We don't. Nobody wakes up resilient.
No, not even close.
No, we still dread getting up in the morning, especially when it's warm and cozy or it's cool in the
Oh
room.
yeah.
Like in Texas, it's hot right now.
Look
So
out.
it's a matter of becoming resilient by surviving things we never wanted to experience.
Yeah.
So that comes up with another question that I have, Jens. Looking back, oh, I think we may be aging ourselves on this. What's one difficult season you're grateful you did not quit during?
Yeah, I think for me, it's when I encountered the book writing process, especially my first book, because you go from having never written a book before, and all your peers, typically they're likely not book writers. I think the population for those that have written one book is like 1/100%. So it's kind of hard to find people in those spaces. So even good friends and people that hold you accountable and in a lot of great other ways, you're mentioning, hey, I have this idea and things like this. And, I can say that I had a pretty favorable, support, but still the question, why, and what are you going to teach somebody that, so it's just kind of getting through that. But I'm so thankful that then, like I mentioned before, I also modified my circle of influence, especially being part of the Maxwell team. And because they're crazy enough that they're going to hold you accountable for some of these dreams and ideas that you have. So it just kind of leveled me up in a space where book writing wasn't as unusual because I'm surrounding myself around those that are, in fact, authors. My first book, it took, as I wrote, like 47 years in the making.
Wow.
Because it was things that I've always just kind of thought about and just different life examples and whatnot. But it finally got put into print, and I'm like, oh man, this is cool. And it's something that just I think it honors a lot of people, and it was an awesome finish line moment and a goal that I could check and say that this has been accomplished. But at the same time, the getting there part, it took so much resilience to keep, excuse me. Moving on and getting that ball across the goal line. What about you, Lan?
Yeah, I can remember some years ago when I was 18 years old, sitting in our living room with my dad in Vallejo, California.
Vallejo, California, Valley Joe.
Yeah, the Valley Joe. And my dad, I was going through like a difficult season and had some setbacks going on. And my dad, just really had one of those conversations where I was ready to throw in the towel and quit. And, my dad brought me to the table of truth. And he said, son, it's not about how you fall, but it's about how you get back up.
Oh,
I can't, at this stage of your life, I can't coddle you anymore, right? I can't continue to, to coddle you. And I call that one of those catalyst moments. I call that one of those life-defining moments to where I came to the place of decision where I either had to go forward or I had to go back. But also, as you look at that, it took somebody in there in my life that would be honest with me, that loved me enough to tell me the truth. But it still came on me. And so from that point on, it was like, because let's just be honest, I was a mama's boy. You know what I'm saying? I was the youngest in the family. My mom loved me to death, and I was a mama's boy. And at certain stages, dad had to kind of step in and be like, okay, it's time. This is what real life is all about. And everybody needs what I call partner to your destiny. That you share where you're trying to go, and somebody that's like, hey, listen, I'm not going to give up on you. You said that you're going here, and we're going to go together, and I'm going to hold you to it, like you said, Jeff. I'm going to hold you to that. And so if it's whether it's going to the gym, whether it's making healthier life, like whatever that place is, like we're going to have check-ins, and we're going to cry together. There's going to be times where you want to give up. And maybe you take a day off, right? But what does James Clear say? If you miss one day, don't miss two.
That's right.
Yes.
And you need somebody that's going to be there with you. That okay, we missed day one, but day two's here. Let's get back to it.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, that's very powerful. Now, I'm going to ask another question. I think this states today, not in the past, the states today. Do you think we've unintentionally created a culture that celebrates comfort more than perseverance?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, just people like to be happy. They like to feel good. It's a feel good culture. So it's really the idea of happiness versus discomfort, because like when you're trying
Mm,
something new or you're going after, a new, whatever. I think I shared before that I played tennis for a few years, and I am horrible at it. I am an athlete, but basketball and football were really more my style, and just because of my size, that worked out well. But tennis, that's not somebody that used to play tight end and middle linebacker. That's not really for them. At least it wasn't for me. But it was something that I had to keep pushing forward, and I got better at it. I'm still not good at it at all. If anybody on my tennis team or tennis squad is listening, and they will vouch for you that I'm not any better really than I probably was before. But was I happy with it? No, but I did see joy when I was done, because I'm like, listen, I'm having good conversations. We're building, community, while I'm the guy that's easily the worst guy out there in the tennis courts. It is not comfortable, but it's something that I've learned something new, and I can, I have new experiences, and I know I've grown from that.
Yeah, yeah. And so often, to answer your question, Ernie, I mean, so many of
yeah.
these are led by my happiness, me, myself, and I don't feel the thrill is gone. So much
Self-centric.
so much is shifted towards self. And so, John Maxwell talks about that everything worth having is uphill.
Oh.
And so what happens, I think I was listening to another podcast, and he was talking through emotional stamina, right?
Ooh.
And what emotional stamina is, that consistency over time, that is, as you're going through difficult things, that's kind of a partner with resilience, is that people want to check out quite often. And that's along the lines of quiet quitting. That's along the lines of some of those conversations we have. And so we have kind of made a culture that's like, when I don't feel it, I don't want to be a part of it anymore. Yeah. And so what we're trying to do here at the Upward Bound podcast is say, listen, that love or whatever you're doing is beyond that feeling, right? That you're not going to feel the ooey gooey all the time, but you have to endure sometimes the hardship, the difficult seasons. You gotta, because on the other, one of the things I always like to say, that it's always darkest just before the dawn. And to remember that, you got to remember that it's always darkest just before the dawn, Ernie.
It reminds me of that picture I see online every once in a while, where there's a guy that has a pitchchfork and he's digging for diamonds, and he stops, within like 2-3 feet, and there's all these diamonds to the right of him. And he's like, bro, I've given up. I'm done. I can't do this. And then, it's like, you were so close. You were so close. Just a couple more swings, man, you would have had it. But
come on, man.
That's good, bro.
Yeah, and Jeff, as you say that, man, I just really feel in my soul like there's some people that are just on the edge of diamonds right now, right? That soot, that diamonds are precious stones, because you got to dig for them, and they're in the earth, and and so many people are like, whether it's the diamond of their marriage or the diamond of that next opportunity, man. And if I could just say, just don't give up.
Yeah.
It's right around the corner. Come on. Keep on going.
Swinging.
Yeah. Come on, Ernie.
And it's knowing that, now I'm going to date myself. Instant gratification is in my generation. Instant gratification. Today you can order food. You don't even have to get out of the house. It will be delivered to you. Everything, it seems that it's for efficiency, but
that's right. It is.
When we are working towards something that we value the most, when we are fighting for something that matters to us, it's not going to be instant gratification.
Come on.
We have to work. We have to work hard for it, and it's not the shortcut. It's the road less traveled.
Come on.
Everyone
so
says.
Good. So good.
And it's going back to the message, resilience isn't the absence of hardship.
Yeah.
It's definitely not. It's refusing.
Mm.
It's refusing to let hardship have the final word.
Yeah.
Preach.
I mean, come on now. But it's as we navigate from quiet quitting to resilience. I mean, and we've already kind of spoken about this before, but the goal isn't working harder.
No.
It's by responding healthier, and just simply resilience can be practiced, and it's like a muscle. It's going to grow under resistance. Instead of giving listeners just that motivation, we're going to try and give you some tools here today.
Yes.
Kind of going through these here. Oh, here's a tough one here for Jeff. Oh, gracious. This is why I jumped in this part here, but pausing before you pivot. I'm a ready, fire, aim guy. But not every bad day requires a major life decision. Sometimes we can just confuse temporary frustration. Sometimes Jeff can confuse temporary frustration with permanent direction. So, kind of, am I making this decision from wisdom or from exhaustion? What do you guys think about that? Do you make decisions from frustration and exhaustion or from wisdom?
Come on.
Yes, as a woman, I'm going to speak to this. It's learning the hard way for me, because I'm speaking for Ernie. I function with emotions, and I've learned that do not make decisions with your emotions. When you're too happy, right, and then you just want to make the decision, yes, I will do it, and then eventually you regret it. Or when you're too frustrated, you make the decision, no, I will not do that. And then next thing you know, okay, well, now that I've reflected on it, I should have said yes. It's a matter of pausing, just like what Jeff said. Because at the end of the day, when we function or we make decisions using the emotions, using our frustrations, sometimes, let's just say it, a lot of times we make the wrong decisions.
Yeah.
So good. That's so good. There's an acronym that I like to throw out there. HALT, HALT. Don't make decisions when you're too hungry, when you're too angry, when you're lonely, or when you're tired. HALT. And so, yeah, that's kind of where I kind of try to stay at, And one thing that I've been practicing, I'm in school. And that controlled breathing, right? Because, those emotions can hit you like a flood sometimes. And so just really taking that step back, as Ernie said, and just breathe, and taking some deep breaths. So,
yeah. And one of the other things that I've come across here, and this is something that I feel that just in a success-based generation and in an overly efficient generation, when we succeed in things, it's almost like this understanding, at least that's where I can stand, where it's expected. So it causes me to think, find one win, because quiet quitting focuses on everything that's wrong. Resilient people intentionally can notice, what's still working. So small wins rebuild confidence. So, I'm thinking, what's one thing in life that's actually going well right now? And to me, it's, not focusing on what used to happen, and just the idea that the show, really quickly, Married with Children, Al Bundy, the character, he would go, 15, 20, 30 years later, and he'd talk about all the touchdowns he scored in high school and things like that. And it's like, that was great that you did this thing then, and you can celebrate those victories, but what are we celebrating now? And how can we focus in on some of the things that we're doing? Because if we actually kind of pause and just kind of celebrate some of those wins, I think we would see, like James Clear talked about, these start to stack and compile and compound. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, celebrating those. And, Ernie just put something in the chat about just when you're stuck and how to get unstuck. Ernie, you want to speak to that? How do you
shout out to John Fowler? What's up, John?
Yeah. How do you lead people?
Yes, I believe there's a.
Yeah, go ahead, Ernie. Go ahead.
Yes, John Fowler, have a question. I see so many people that can't let go of the past. How do you lead people through being wronged you, how do you not get weighed down with an unforgiving attitude?
Man, and you know what? I want to speak to that here because I know John very well, brother John. He's a close friend of mine. But it's just the idea that when we kind of recognize why we show up and what we're doing and who we're doing it for, John. It's the understanding that we can focus so much. Jeff can focus so much on the things that I've not done right, and it's the idea of failing versus quitting. So, John, my encouragement to you is there's so many things that you've done well, except for picking college football teams because Ohio State. Look out. I'm just picking, bro. But at the same time, I love that I finally got to pick on Ohio State. But, man, it's just kind of recognizing there's been so many good things that you've done and what I've even done and people I've coached. It's kind of recognizing what are 3 things that you've done well. So write those down and you can understand in your mind that here's how John has shown up in this day. But that very next day, do 3 more things, because when we start to recognize the wins that we've had and we start to recognize, how we've shown up and honored people and honored our community and church and whatever else that we're trying to do, it's focusing on the good and focusing on the positive. It's going to rewire your mind and rewire how you show up and how you really process things here. Kind of take that we're all going to have things where we fail down here. And I know I'm taking some time here, so I'm going to hand it over to Lynn here. You can talk about where you're going to close out here, but go ahead, Ernie. You got this here.
And then I'll go to Mr. McIntosh. I wanted to answer the first part of John's question. I see people that can let go of the past. What I have learned in my journey is I have done it. That's why I speak on this. What I have learned is you are carrying something that has no value, no weight on the person who has carried or wronged you in the past.
Drop that baton.
That's it.
We are the one who's putting weight on ourselves by not letting it go.
Yeah.
And what happens is that person moved on. If you're thinking of, oh, this person did me wrong, or this person did something bad to me, that's already in the past. That person moved on. So the thing that we can do is also let go. And Mr. McIntosh, bring us home.
Talk about some hope here, Lynn.
Let's go. So we want to leave you with something practical. We want to talk through hope.
Yeah.
Hope is a verb, not a noun. Come on. Let's let that sit with you. Hope isn't a noun. It's a verb. And so hope, the acronym, means that we want you to harness the process. You don't leap into growth. You grow into it one rep at a time. Nobody becomes resilient overnight. The O in hope is own today. John Maxwell wrote a book called Today Matters. You don't need to own the whole mountain. You just need to own one win today. And the P is to position failure as a teacher. Bounce back. Get back up again, as we talked about.
Rocky.
The E is elevate someone else. Listen, we're all wounded healers. That doesn't mean we have to have all of our stuff figured out. But when you elevate someone else, it seems like your life and your situation gets better.
Yeah.
And so what we want you to leave with is number one, again, harness the process, own today, and position failure as a teacher, and elevate someone else. The strongest people aren't the ones who've avoided hardship. They're the ones who kept building through it and kept making room for someone else to climb. Listen, this is from Lynn. Don't quietly quit on your purpose. Don't quietly quit on your family, and don't quietly quit on yourself. Come on, y'all. Ernie, let's go, Ernie.
That's good.
Yes. That's good. And if this episode helped you, don't just listen. Use it or share it with someone else.
Yeah, that's so good. We're hopeful that you guys take one idea, not all the ideas, but just take one idea and act on it this week. We do, as Upward Bound Podcast, ask, hey, if this resonated with you, share it with somebody who needs it. Obviously, like and subscribe, so we can keep helping others level up as well.
Let's go. And if you'd like to learn more, we'd love to connect with you and walk with you through this journey. And so Until the next time, we'll see you soon. Hey, keep on believing, keep hoping, and keep just walking through this thing. It's darkest before the dawn, and I see dawn coming.
Come on now.
Woke up this morning, feeling the vibe, got my headphones on, ready to thrive. Voices in my ear, lifting me high, upward bound, put tasks, reaching for the sky.